The strangest sculptures in the world. Strange monuments and original sculptures were created not only to decorate city squares and streets, but also to attract tourists from different countries. They are also a symbol of the development of any culture. After many centuries, the monuments inform the generations about the ideas and ideals of the society. Hanging statue of Sigmund Freud in Prague. An unsuspecting person might think that this statue is someone who decided to take his own life and immediately called the police. In fact, this is a statue of the famous psychologist Sigmund Freud, hanging from a building in Prague with one arm. This strange memorial to Sigmund Freud was created by Czech sculptor David Kierny. Some critics argue that it is actually a statue of Vladimir Ilyich Lenin, the genius of the world proletariat, and that it represents the fall of communism. However, in that case, it is not clear why Lenin was wearing glasses. In fact, the sculptor aims for the interest of critics and tourists, and he does it very successfully, because the interest in the sculpture never fades. A statue of a thumb sticking out of the ground. This thumb-shaped statue is located in the heart of a lively and bustling area of Paris. This monstrous finger sticking out of the ground is called La Pouce by Cesare Baldacchini. This sculptor likes to create very large samples of the simplest things. This statue is an enlarged view of his thumb. The prestigious French film award César Award is named after this sculptor. This giant finger, installed in 1965, is still standing here. Granada Underwater Sculpture Park. Molinare. The first underwater sculpture garden was created in 2006 by the sculptor Jason de Quires Taylor. A British sculptor used stone replicas of real people to create an underwater world of stone people in the Caribbean, off the coast of Grenada. The most famous composition from this system is a circle of people holding hands. This amazing park can be seen by scuba diving or as a passenger on an excursion on a transparent bottom ship. Despite the fact that this idea is somewhat obscure, the sculptures perform a very useful function. They serve as artificial reefs for the residents of rare species of organisms. A statue of Charles La Trobe with his feet in the sky in Melbourne. It could have been an ordinary statue of Charles La Trobe, the first Lieutenant Governor of Australia, if he had not been placed with his feet in the sky. Why is this question in your mind? According to the Australian sculptor Charles Robb, the antithesis of this statue gives the statue an unforgettable impression, thereby creating a relative curiosity about La Trobe's personality. Nevertheless, many representatives of the local population do not agree with this point of view of the sculptor and consider such a constructive decision disrespectful to the memory of Charles La Trobe. This monument is located in the park of La Trobe University in Bandora district. This monument is the highest point in Elbert County, Georgia, USA. It is made in the shape of a star and in some ways reminds of Stonehenge. However, this is not an ancient, but a completely modern monument. It was created in 1980 by an unidentified group of people. 10 commandments are engraved on the stone slabs, which mankind must follow after the end of time. They are written in 12 modern and 4 ancient languages, that is, Ancient Greek, Babylonian, Ancient Egyptian and Sanskrit. The text of these decrees in Russian is a call not to increase the population of the earth by 500 million people through birth control, to speak the same language, to show patience, to obey the laws, to appreciate beauty, harmony and nature does. The owner of the monument seems to have read a lot of fantasy and doomsday books. A giant hand in the Atacama Desert, Chile. Created by Chilean sculptor Mario Irarrázaval, the 11-meter giant hand sticking out of the sand is, according to the creator, a symbol of loneliness, injustice and sadness. As you get closer to the statue, it looks like a huge man is sticking his giant palm out of the sand. It is surprising that Antofagasta, the nearest city, is 75 kilometers away from the statue. That is why it is necessary to travel a long way to this desert where there is no sign of life in order to see this statue. It seems that the sculptor wanted to emphasize the theme of loneliness in this way. Rhino statue. Potsdam. There are many attractions in Germany, and it is not surprising that the most unusual of them is the statue of a rhinoceros hanging on an iron farm in Potsdam. This statue was created by the Italian sculptor Stefano Bombardieri. Despite its true size, it looks fragile and helpless. Perhaps that is why Stefano Bombardieri has won many awards for this work. It is still unknown what the sculptor meant by this. Maybe he meant that a big and strong rhinoceros can be weak and helpless. However, art historians have a simpler hypothesis, according to which this sculpture represents the moment when the rhinoceros was brought to the zoo. Maneater statue, Bern. Bern, a very beautiful city in Switzerland, is full of attractions at almost every turn. The only strange thing in this spectacle is the statue of a fountain that swallows children. The statue of a cannibal devouring children surprises some people, while others are horrified. Even more strange is that no one knows what this creature represents. This statue has been standing in Bern for 500 years and is scaring children and tourists. Some say that the statue was intended to scare away the Izyar community, as the creature's headdress is very similar to the yellow cap worn by the Izyar in the Middle Ages. Some say that he is Kronos, the Greek wrestler who devours his own children for fear of losing his throne. Maybe it's a idiosyncratic Swiss villain who is a tool for raising deaf children. A cow in a space suit, Stockholm. Before the next elections in Sweden, they decorated Stockholm in a unique way. For this purpose, they hung the images of cows flying in spacesuits in different parts of the city. One of them still hangs over the city and spreads good vibes to tourists. Perhaps, in this way, the Swedes wanted to overtake the leading countries in the space industry. They can't afford to launch this two-legged creature into space, but they have already put a spacesuit on it. In addition, it is known that the cow is considered one of the symbols of ecology in Sweden. Etiboringis yukunrahmith, shu va shunga o xshash videolarni yo kodib kyo amaslik yukun kanalga obuna bolib kyoing.